Hi, my name is Rich Blumenthal. I'm here at the Theracycle company in Franklin, Massachusetts, and I just was going to share a little bit of information with you today about the history of our company and how the Theracycle came to be. We used to produce a product called the Theracycle. That started in 1932. It was a stationary bike that was motorized and was designed to assist people with mobility issues. That's quite similar to what we do today. The Theracycle company was a real household name in the United States up until probably the 1960s and was hugely successful and very popular. But about 20 years ago, with the onset of exercise equipment, treadmills, the proliferation of gyms, the Theracycle kind of fell to the wayside. And at that point in time, our company discovered that there was still a real need for the motor to help people who are ambulatory and mobile, but just couldn't get the exercise that they needed to maintain their health, their independence, and just their overall quality of life. So about just under 20 of iterations. Okay, so I was saying that that's about 20 years ago is when our company kind of refocused on meeting the needs of people who have Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, stroke, and other mobility-related issues. And that's really where our focus is today in terms of helping people who primarily are living with either Parkinson's disease or MS. Currently, our main focus, and what we almost do exclusively, is selling to home users who are living with Parkinson's. And I think there's 1.25 million people living with Parkinson's disease in the United States right now. And many of those people might not need a Theracycle, and some of those people may be, unfortunately, too advanced to benefit from the Theracycle. But there's a great many people who we hear from who are at a place with their Parkinson's where they're a couple of years into their diagnosis. They are still mobile, they're still independent, they're still exercising. However, they are, I think, seeing a more recent decline in their overall health. They're seeing a progression of their symptoms. They're frustrated, sometimes they're angered or saddened, and as a result of that, they're compelled to look for some other alternatives, and that's when they kind of stumble into us here at Theracycle. So the people we work with, they're, generally speaking, still mobile, still independent, still ambulatory, but at the same time, I think they've identified that they can't do what they used to, and they're pretty self-motivated to try to do something to maintain their quality of life and their mobility. About 8 or 9 years ago, there was a research study at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, and they talked about the term forced exercise, where somebody who was in the back, somebody who was living with Parkinson's was in the back of a tandem bicycle, a two-seater, that was stationary in a laboratory setting, was forced or assisted and cycling at a pace that was faster than what they could generate or produce on themselves. And it wasn't their heart rate or the level of effort, it was more about the cadence and the speed. And that study had some really profound results. So participants had a 35% improvement in their Parkinson's symptoms when they cycled at 80 to 90 revolutions 3 times a week for, I think, an 8-week session. And they compared that with a control group of individuals who rode a regular stationary bike but just couldn't get the same benefit. In fact, I think those people had no improvements in their Parkinson's symptoms, but I believe they just had some improvements in their stamina. The customers that we work with have Parkinson's symptom improvements that are very similar to the results of that study. And that's what we are informed about, and that's what we know about. We see that every day. In fact, we just did a survey of customers that we sent out to about 2,000 Theracycle customers, and we had a very positive response rate. I think it was over 80% of the customers said that their walking and gait was improved. I have some of these stats right here. 88% of those people said that they would purchase the Theracycle again, and 84% of those people said they would recommend the Theracycle to a friend. So those are the types of things that we hear on a daily and weekly basis here at Theracycle, and that's what we really know about. How people who are living with Parkinson's are improving their mobility, their quality of life, and just their everyday lifestyle from Theracycle use. So we hear these types of anecdotes, but that's coupled with the statistics from our customers, and it's pretty compelling, and it's very consistent. So a lot of people are concerned with the cost of the Theracycle. It's a very well-made piece of equipment. We're a small business. It's manufactured here in the United States. And the model that we sell most frequently to the people who are living with Parkinson's is the Theracycle 200. That costs $4,500. we know that sometimes people take a step back when they hear that price, but I think one of the challenges that we speak with our customers about is that they need to, or we ask that they consider this to, not like a discretionary expense, but almost like if someone was buying a walk-in tub for their home, or if they were buying a stairlift. These are purchases that people make so they can maintain their mobility and their independence. And I feel like we have to kind of nudge our customers to look at this like an investment and not just a discretionary expense. I just sold a Theracycle to a gentleman and his wife not less than an hour ago. He was 72. He was diagnosed 3 years ago. He's still mobile. He's still independent. He's led a very active life. He was a biker and a cyclist, and he's really noticed in the recent past that he has some real serious issues that are getting worse, and he feels if he spends the money on the Theracycle, and at 72, this keeps him moving. We hear from customers every week who say that this is money well spent, one of the best things I've ever purchased. They'd buy one again in a moment if they had to. And so we really know that people who've made the purchase feel like it's a worthwhile investment. So a lot of people ask, why is this bike so expensive? What goes into the Theracycle? And I think that's a very fair question to ask. So in an attempt to try to answer that question today, we're going to go on a little field trip back into our factory space, and people can kind of learn a little bit about what goes into a Theracycle. So the Theracycle is made here in the United States. There's only two parts that are made outside of the country. That's the seat cushions and the pedals. Beyond that, everything's made here, and most of the parts are even made here in New England. What is the most critical part to the Theracycle isn't necessarily the motor, but it's this gearbox that we make. So the Theracycle has approximately 200 pieces that go into it, and about 50 of them are made for us, custom made for us by vendors here in New England. This gearbox has 5 gears, and you see these gears right here. These are gears that are custom made for us. They're cut, they're hardened, they're buffed, they're polished, and then they have to work together in this transmission box. And they only have, you can see there's almost no space in between here, about 1,000th of an inch tolerance. That's just one hair for them to function properly so that the Theracycle can move fluidly and seamlessly so that you can benefit from it at home. So this is kind of the heart and soul of the Theracycle. Once this transmission box is built, it's tested, and you can see those gearboxes back there on our test fixture that are working and being tested. So once a Theracycle gearbox is completed, it's tested to make sure that everything is working and functioning properly. Once we've confirmed that that Theracycle transmission box is in proper working order, then we start the buildup of the Theracycle. See, there's nobody here. Our factory space, our shop guys have already gone home for the day. But this bike's in the state of process, where here's a transmission box, and it's put on, this is a custom-made steel frame. This is a motor from a company called Baldor Motor in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and this is computer control electronics made down the road by Star Electronics, I think in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the Patriots. So this is a bike that's in process, and every bike, or every Theracycle, is built to completion, and then they're run here to make sure for everything is working in proper, perfect working order. And then once the Theracycle is built, you come over here, and you can see this is a Theracycle. It's got the seat on, it's got the handlebar, it's got the computer display stand, it's got the pedals. This is a Theracycle 300 with the swivel mechanism. Once this bike is being broken down, because now it's going to be shipped. So every unit starts over there with the transmission box. It goes through the state of process where it's assembled onto the frame. It's built, it runs, it's built to completion. Now it's disassembled, so it's going to be shipped to you. So we go through everything with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that every single unit is in perfect working order before it goes out. Once the bike is disassembled, it's going to get packed for shipment. Now I'm going to go over here. So this is what a packaged Theracycle looks like. One of the things that's a bit of a challenge here at Theracycle is I think when our customers are purchasing, say, a walk-in tub, you know what a walk-in tub looks like. If someone's purchasing a stair lift, you know what a stair lift looks like. People are like, what am I getting? What's coming to my house? So this is a boxed, packaged Theracycle that's been fully built, disassembled, packed for delivery, and now it's ready for shipment. So One shipping company is going to pick this up. It's going to get it from here to either your home or to the subcontractor nearest your home, who's going to contact you to deliver and install the Theracycle in your house. So now we have the Theracycle. It's in your home. It's built to completion. When the bike ships out, we usually tell our customers that it's about 75% assembled. So if you think about this unit in that box, it's the box. It doesn't have the seat on. It doesn't have the handlebar on. It doesn't have this computer display stand on. And it doesn't have the pedals on. So that the assembly isn't too difficult. The hardest part of it, getting this put together, is really just moving it from your front door into your den, bedroom, basement, wherever the Theracycle is going to be kept. Now we have this bike, it's in your home, and you see that it's got this, as I've told a lot of our customers, the Theracycle where our customers have some difficulty lifting their leg up over a threshold. So this makes it very easy to mount. A lot of our customers who are living with Parkinson's have some difficulty with kind of a side-to-side movement, lateral movement. So with the Theracycle, with this step-to design, someone can come up to it and just walk. You can get your feet into the pedals. And now I'm going to show you how to start a Theracycle, and I'm going to show you what we do with the computer display. So the first thing you do is you take this clip from the safety magnet, you clip that onto your shirt, and now I'm going to turn it on. And this safety magnet has to just come off about 2 inches. It's just testing to make sure that it's working properly. And then I'm just going to follow the prompts that says press the start or set button. So if I press start, it would go for 30 minutes at 8 miles an hour. And if I press set, this cursor just came up next to time. So I can use the up or down button to set the time. And then I'm going to hit the set button again, and the cursor goes down to speed. Now I'm going to go down to, say, 6 miles an hour. And I'm going to get, when I press start, the Theracycle is going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you'll see now it's counting down. So it starts nice and gently, which is important for some of our customers who might be a little bit more frail. So now I'm on the bike, I'm riding, bike's moving my legs, it's set properly, I have the handlebar coming in to just above my knees. The handlebar is very helpful to our customers in that it engages their upper body. So somebody who might have a pre-existing back or shoulder issue can keep their back against the seat and just kind of get some motion in their hands, in their arms, back and forth rolling motion. If somebody wants to be a little bit more assertive, they can ride at a faster speed. And you can lean into the handlebars and kind of engage the back of your shoulders, your back, your torso. And that's very important for our customers who have some types of balance concerns because it engages their midsection and their torso, and that seems to help them loosen up, stand straighter, walk better. People are standing straighter, they tend to walk better, they walk more, their stamina is improved. If they walk more, they tend to gain some strength. Some customers use these handlebars on the side, don't use these handlebars all the time. Some customers do a kind of a pushing motion when you lean into that. You can kind of get some resistance, almost kind of mimicking a bench press or a push-up type of motion. Some customers will put their hands underneath and you can get a pulling motion. So you can incorporate some strength work during a 25 to 30 minute session on the bike. This is very helpful to a lot of our customers because this way they're getting some motions that mimic their day-to-day activities, where if you think about somebody who's living with Parkinson's or MS, if they kind of push up on the seat or pull themselves into a vehicle, so they can incorporate that strength work during their time on the Theracycle. It also helps to just get them loosened up and decrease any of the stiffness or rigidity they may be experiencing as a result of their Parkinson's. So these are some of the features of the Theracycle, and I'm not sure if we have anything else to say right now, but if there are any questions you might have about the Theracycle, then I guess you can let us know and we'd be happy to answer them and see if we can help you out and get you moving.
Rich?
Yes.
John asked a question about why is there no funding?
Why is there no funding? From like an outside
I'm assuming he means insurance.
Unfortunately, John, I think that insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, the VA, they view this like a piece of exercise equipment, whereas it does help people with exercise, but it's also therapy. So we're kind of stuck in that they don't, insurers, VA, Medicare, Medicaid, they don't seem to look at this as something that's going to be therapeutic to people's needs, people who are living with Parkinson's or other mobility-related issues.
Any last questions?
And if there are any other questions, you can send them in on Facebook, and we'd be happy to respond, or you can call us here at our 800 number. We're always happy to talk to our customers and help them get started with the Theracycle and answer their questions. I think we understand that sometimes there's a lot of question about how is this going to be helpful, do I really need this? I think our response here at Theracycle is generally if people are looking at this, that it's something that they should probably consider because it's likely that it would help them to manage and improve their Parkinson's. And if you don't believe us, then I'd say give us a call because we'll put you in contact with our customers. And I think when you speak with our people, you'll get that this is really making a very connected result. Thank you for tuning in, and please send us your questions and give us a call if we can help you out.